I typically always do like a clap with people, though I don't really
Oh, like
use it.
clap sync.
Yeah, so we could try.
Yeah.
I just want to see if like, because there's the delay, right? So you have to sort of like overcome the delay and figure out how to clap
Yeah.
at the same time. All right, I'll do on three, and then so like when I say three, we both clap. I guess we'll try for
Okay.
that. So maybe like when I say two, like right after I say two, maybe like you're predicting the three. Okay, one, two, three. That was pretty good. That
Okay.
was pretty good. All right. What is up? I'm with Brett Nolan. They are the creator of Paperhouse Records, which is a San Jose based music record label and live sessions as well. Is that still happening real quick? I'm
I
guessing
mean,
not, right? In COVID.
it's we're temporarily not really doing them. We might do one for another May and other in-house artists, but like
Hmm.
out-of-house artists, we're just gonna take a break.
Okay. Well, I just feel like also throwing that out there because I was doing a little Instagram stalking right before this to prep myself a bit, and I was like, oh my god, there's all these like
I,
Kilroy and Small Crush. I want to say Outer District. Like these are all bands
Mhm.
that I'm familiar with, so I was super psyched to see that stuff. I guess let's just start it off with what is Paperhouse Records? How did you guys get your start?
So, Paperhouse Records, it started in 2017, I think. That's what it says on the stickers. But basically, it's just a record label I wanted to start. I just wanted to, I don't know, it's like help out all my friends and like all the local artists, and then kind of just establish myself as like a producer, manager, and everything. We first started
Mm.
out just doing original releases with bands like Conserve, Easy to Forget, Jab, and we're just doing like shows and stuff here and there, like at my house, hippie house, all that stuff.
Mm.
And then Matt came along, and when Matt Slay came along, we started doing live sessions, as you've seen. And then, yeah, today was still crunching out releases. We just dropped last month. We dropped like 3 releases
Oh
after
hell
like
yeah.
5 month hiatus from COVID.
Yeah, as to be expected, right?
Mhm.
Totally understandable. So, um, you guys are San Jose based, but is like, have you sort of expanded at this point, or is it still sort of trying to stay within the South Bay? Is that the right term?
So yeah, we're kind of so for a while it was like there's a bunch of active members in Paper House. Like there's some people in Hollister that are involved, there's people in Santa Cruz that are involved.
Hmm.
But overall it never got north of San Jose. Like we didn't have any Oakland heads, no S heads, no
Yeah,
Peninsula. Pretty much just stayed in the South Bay.
I see. Okay. What is it like? Like, as someone who I don't really know the South Bay that well, or like I've only been to San Jose a few times, and this was before I was really in the scene at all. So like I never even. What is the hippie house? Like, I'm not even aware. I feel so
It's literally
uneducated.
Marquez, one of the members involved in Paper House. It's his old landlord's garage. It's literally just a garage.
Hell
And
yeah.
I don't think that garage was safe. It smelled like gasoline in there a lot.
Oof.
But
Not a good
yeah, like
sign.
literally like Marquez left like he ran out of room at that place, and then he like moved out, but the guy
Hmm.
still let Marquez and Paper House throw shows there.
Mm. That's pretty tight. I didn't
Yeah.
know about that. Okay. Because like what venues are there in San Jose just generally? If
I mean,
curious.
there's Art Boutique, but they're kind of strict on who plays there.
Hmm.
There's a lot of like DIY venues like Frank's Basement in downtown San Jose, and then just a lot of like pop-up shows. There's like local colors sometimes does shows. A lot of the bars in downtown does shows, but overall it's pretty limiting on like all the venues. So a lot of people just do DIY shows essentially to make up for like just like the just how many venues there not really are, but there's still quite a
Mm.
bit of venues.
There isn't like a sort of honey hive sort of venue in the SoCal
Um,
or South Bay.
I mean, I guess the equivalent of the Honey Hive is like the Art Boutique. But again, like Art
Mm.
Boutique, like they don't let anything hard play there. They kind of just let like I don't know, like singer-songwriter people play there, like
Oh.
reggae and stuff.
See, I think that's a little different because like Honey Hive, it's literally, I feel like literally anything can play there. I've
Yeah,
seen it all. Except for techno. I feel like nobody's tried to do techno at the Honey Hive. Maybe
dude,
that'll
let's start
happen.
a techno band and play there, man.
Yeah, maybe that'd be awesome. If it's still around, I'm hoping they survive this tumultuous time.
Isn't there like GoFundMe doing well though?
Yeah, yeah, I think it is. I remember we reposted it for the Twin Peaks episodes. That was. I mean, I don't really have much attention on me, but just adding more attention if possible whenever
Mhm.
to the Honey Hive is always a pleasure. But so I guess with COVID in mind, what is Paper House sort of? What has your guys been like response to it? What's the current plan?
I mean, like immediately, like we stopped doing shows, of course, and like we're still like working with artists and recording artists, but like only a select few, like people we know, like
Mm,
are like following COVID protocols and not doing stupid shit during COVID.
yeah.
And yeah, like we just don't want like because the people I know people I'm close with that like are at risk, they're immunocompromised. So I am definitely not gonna like risk their lives just so I can do a live session.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just basically it's just a very tight circle right now because of COVID.
Y'all have created a bubble, perhaps? Is that
Yeah,
it?
probably a bubble of at most like 10 people.
Hmm. Nice. That's pretty good. So I wasn't 100% clear on it. So do you guys like have a recording studio or booth or something for artists to use,
Yeah,
or?
this room is actually where I record everything in.
Oh, word.
So
Nice.
over here, there's like a little curtain right here. It's like a little focal mic. Just close the booth. It's all
Oh
set
yeah.
and running.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I got all the acoustic paneling back there. I don't know if you can see it.
A little bit. A little bit. It's a little grainy, but I'll try to. Maybe I
Yeah,
can
there's
throw up an
the
image.
240p quality.
Yeah, if you want to like send me a photo for when I post this, I could like if you want to show it off at all or something, that'd be fun.
Sure, I can send a photo.
That'd be great. Awesome. Okay, well, very cool. I'm glad to hear that there's at least something happening, right? Because I think
Mhm.
what I've been hearing most frequently is just like people have kind of either fallen completely off or teetering,
Like
from
struggling and
maintaining.
stuff.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been doing? Because I know you were very involved in the music scene before
This is
COVID.
what I've been doing essentially. I try to like there's this live session thing in Berkeley that started up called the B-sides, and I sent them some bands. That's like
Okay.
they're doing some COVID friendly, not COVID friendly, some COVID safe, hopefully. I mean, I've never been to the live sessions themselves, so I can't say for a fact that like they're is taking all their precautions, but I would hope so. It seems like everyone's wearing masks and stuff like that.
That's good.
They needed some people because they're a UC Berkeley based. I guess they didn't know a lot of people outside of Berkeley, so I hooked them up with some random
That's what's
bands
up.
that I'm friends with. But I guess speaking of that, like I'm kind of curious what your take is on the scene because I feel like South Bay. Do you think it's kind of disconnected from like East Bay or San Francisco or like North Bay? I don't really know what North Bay. I don't know about North.
Oh, for sure. Like I feel like the East Bay scene, it's like very like inner circle and they kind of just
Mm,
focus on themselves. And then like SF, they're doing their own thing, but I feel like SF and like East Bay have like some sort of a connection. And then like South Bay
Bay
is just like,
Bridge.
hey, we're just right here.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunately just because I guess the distance and there's no like BART access. Maybe that's probably part of
Yeah.
it.
And like I just feel like there's like probably like no venues on the way because like all the venues are like either like in SF like in
Hmm.
Oakland or like in San Jose. There's like no
Yeah,
venue really in like Hayward or Fremont.
Fremont. Yeah, maybe we should. Someone should change that. I'm sure there's an opportunity, at least in Fremont. I feel like I don't know
Generator
about
shows,
Hayward.
man. It's gotta be an empty field somewhere.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You could do a show anywhere if you have a generator or something like that.
Hmm.
Heck yeah. Okay. Well, I would agree, I guess, with the whole idea because like I personally am in sort of the East Bay, and so I I I I don't like that there's a disconnect, but it does seem like I don't know a lot of people in the South Bay, and they don't know me, and like we're not like consistent. Like I meet whenever before COVID, like when I was still a part of the scene or whatever in a more active way. Like I would go to shows in SF, I go to shows in Bay, and there would be that like kind of community that I could sort of get a picture of. But like
Hmm.
I hardly would ever actually meet people from the South Bay ever going to those shows,
Yeah.
and hardly ever would I hear about bands playing that were from the East Bay going down to San Jose to play shows. Like there just wasn't much crossover. I feel like that is kind of a bad thing. Why why haven't we put the connections together? It's
I
so
don't know,
strange.
man. Like, I mean, like, I don't know, like when I talk to like people from like SF and Oakland, they're like, "Oh yeah, I know San Jose. I've only been there like once or twice." I'm like, "Great." I don't know, but like, I don't know. San Jose is just definitely like people just don't pay attention enough to it. Even though like
Mm,
we have like a really cool like music and art scene in downtown San Jose
yeah,
with like Martha Street Art Night and SJ Come Up.
dang.
And
I
like
didn't.
before like COVID, there was just like art shows and all that popping up everywhere downtown. It was really
Mm,
cool.
is like I'm assuming that like people, it's also like the rent is cheaper and stuff like that in San Jose than it would be, I guess, in San Francisco. I don't know about East Bay, or is it more? What's the prices at?
I know it's like reported that Silicon Valley is or Santa Clara County is like one of the most
Hmm.
expensive rents in the country, I think, because we're like the tech capital.
Yeah, yeah, I forgot about
We
that.
got Google, all those
Yeah,
fools.
yeah, yeah. So are you feeling like you're paying just as much as if you were in SF or the East Bay to
Oh, for sure. But like, I'm not getting the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm not getting the Embarcadero. I'm not getting Pier 39. What's up with that,
dang.
man?
But San Jose is worth it, right? Like there's still some. Sounds like you just advertised. There's some plenty
Yeah,
of great
yeah, yeah, yeah.
stuff.
I know. But yeah, yeah. I mean, like, the art scene is really cool. The downtown scene is really nice. But it's just like outside of downtown, like San Jose is just San Jose.
Mm,
It's a
the
lot of
suburb.
suburbs.
Yeah. I have been a decent number of times because my friend went to San Jose State, and like I would come and visit him, and the streets are so wide compared to like every other city, and maybe not every other, but like compared to San Francisco, it's like you can walk down these big roads and these massive like crossing the street, and it's like a full, it feels like 30 yards or whatever. I don't know, it's like a long distance just to cross the street like a city.
Yeah, like when
uh
I'm like driving in San Jose, it's like all good. But when I'm driving in SF, it's just like,
mm, Except for those, at least for me, I would one time in San Jose, the one way roads, I got confused and went down the wrong way of a one way
dude,
with oncoming traffic.
dude, I still get confused by those. Don't worry.
Dang. Okay, good, because at least I didn't die. I'm here. Like
Yeah.
nothing
I
happened.
mean,
I
like they
pulled
just make
over.
those signs so small, like as
Yeah.
small as they can, just to fuck with you.
Oh my god. I guess it's better for traffic or whatever, right? Like that's why they do it. But
Mhm.
it seems dangerous. Well, not dangerous, but you really have to be paying attention, which we should be when we're driving.
Yeah.
Anyways, um, well, I guess you mentioned Marquise earlier, and like the whole Let's Chats thing. That was kind of, I remember noticing that was like the only, you guys were like seemed like the only ones doing that sort of interview style live session thing compared to Twin Peaks, which doesn't do any interviews.
Hmm.
Um, was that all Marquise, or was that like how did y'all get to that idea?
Uh, his name is actually pronounced Marquez.
Marquez, okay,
Yeah,
my
all good, all good. But Yeah, I kind of forgot how we started, but like Marquez was probably like the main figurehead on it. And he
Mm,
was the one that like wrote down like 90% of the questions asked. Maybe like I'll ask throw in like one question or two. But yeah,
mm,
I think like the first live session we didn't have a Let's Chat. And I think it started with Shark Punch. And I feel like it might have been spontaneous and then we just rolled with
mm.
it, but it's just been so long ago I can't even remember, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been doing this for 3 years, 2 years?
3 years.
Wow, that's impressive. I feel like people don't get enough credit for lasting that long because starting something is one thing, but to keep going
Yeah,
for
maintaining it.
takes a lot more work, I think, than just
Mhm.
having an idea. Okay, good to know. Marquez. Apologies for the
All good, all
mispronunciation.
good.
Well, I just wanted to give them props because like I thought those were some pretty decent interviews considering like it's all DIY and everything. Nobody's
Mhm.
a professional host, perhaps, but glad they were out there. How
Yeah,
did you
like
guys? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say like Marquez is always like wearing like the nice ass suits and everything.
They were born for it, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's awesome. What what was like? What? How did you guys get Small Crush though? Because they're like so big. I feel like I don't know. I'm
We
surprised a little
literally
bit.
oh like we literally just messaged them on Instagram like, hey, you want to do a live session? And they're like, sure.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I
And
mean
it
that was
worked out. Wow.
that was before they got signed to Asian Man. And before like
Mm,
that was like right after they dropped their EP and like before they dropped their album. So they're still like
perfect time.
rising. I don't know, but like it doesn't really I don't know. We just ask. We've asked like a lot of like we've contacted Mac DeMarco's team at one point
Whoa. How did that
and
go? Any response?
the his manager responds. She was like thanks for the offer, but no thank you.
Of course. Was that like when he was coming in for his like Bill Graham Civic Center shows
Yeah,
before
like we
that?
literally just looked up what artists were coming to town. And it's like, hey,
Mm.
we see you're coming to town on that day. We know you have a day off afterwards. Maybe you want to do a live session here.
That's smart.
Mm,
That's really smart. I feel like that's how Twin Peaks sort of got.
yeah, we almost we're planning on doing a session with hers. Like we're in like the yeah, we're like
No.
going back and forth, but like there's like yeah, like at a different time, like after a
Mm.
tour or something, and then you know what happens.
Yeah, yeah. So sad. I'm still
Yeah.
I still think about that like, oh my God,
Mhm.
such a depressing story.
Rest in peace.
I was on like one of their songs and like someone I don't know if it's real and this is probably ridiculous to bring it up, but like the truck driver that supposedly like saw the accident commented on the YouTube video and talked about it and I was just like, "Oh my God,
Damn.
this is too much." But yeah, rest in peace hers. Very very sad to see a band go like that. Jeez, they
Mhm.
were so close. Not necessarily so close, but like they were that album that they put out just before.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like they like definitely blew up. I think they're like about to like really blow up,
Mm,
and then that happened.
yeah. So, I just are you familiar with like the day the music died? The sort of like what's his name? Who Buddy Holly dying in the airplane crash and that whole
Yeah, like
thing.
1950 something.
Yeah, yeah. I was reading the Wikipedia page recently. It's like, man, how many times have musicians just sort of just disappeared in traveling accidents? It's like it must have far too many times. Oh my God. But yeah, sorry, I'm a little high energy today, I guess.
No, it's all good.
Speaking of, I guess the Mall Crush and that whole like experience, was that like, um, do you guys wanna, I guess, try to get bigger bands, or is it just whoever is interested?
Um, we just kind of like we go between like we just want to get like who we want to get,
Mm,
and then like we try to go after big bands, but we know that's like a huge shot away.
mm,
And then, sorry, my computer almost turned off. and then just like local bands we enjoy.
Mm.
But like also like a lot of people like if you like hit us up and you seem like a genuine person, but like we never heard you before, like we'll definitely consider you. Like that happened with Quigs, one of our most recent live sessions. Like we weren't really too familiar with him
Mm.
beforehand. He just hit us up and we checked out some music. Yeah, and like he seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know how many people just hit me up. Like I don't know, like some people entitled, they're like kind of like give me a
Mm.
live session now.
Mm.
So I'm like,
Totally.
if you're gonna like approach me that way, I'm not gonna.
I feel like I might have even done that myself back in the day. I don't know if because I might have been like, yo, I see you guys are doing live sessions. Would you be considering doing my friend's band or whatever? I feel like I might have done that. I don't
I don't know,
remember
I mean,
exactly.
like if you do it like that, like that's fine, that's polite, and that's understanding.
Mm.
But like people were just like, oh, like they just like hit us up as we were like, when are we doing a live session? I'm like, what?
Oh. Who are you?
Yeah, like who are you? With
Well, I think that's a perfect segue. I'm kind of curious. Do you have any sort of like tips for bands trying to do live sessions and stuff like that? Anything like I feel like people sort of make some common mistakes when it comes at things. So I guess number one, don't be rude.
yeah, like contacting live sessions or like doing
Yeah,
the
contacting record labels, live sessions, whatever it is, just sort of like what's because it sounds like you've received a decent number of people that you don't want to do live sessions with, and how can we avoid that kind of situation?
I mean, the thing is just like be a genuine human being and just like be humble. Like definitely don't brag about
Mm,
like just be like, hey, like this is my music, this is what we're about, this is who we are. But just
mm-hmm,
don't be like, I don't know, like it's just surprising how many people are kind of like demanding things from you
mm,
instead of just like talking to you as a person.
yeah,
But yeah,
because it's
just be genuine.
okay.
I
I
mean,
think that's pretty solid.
it seems like such a generic answer, but like
Well,
um
I mean, I put you on the spot, right? I mean, who knows?
yeah.
It didn't you weren't
But
necessarily planning on that, but yeah,
but I
go
don't know.
for
That
it.
just seems like the thing that just works the best. Just be
Mm.
genuine and just look professional at the same time too.
What if your genuine self is shitty though? You're just like,
Fake it till you make it.
I guess. Has anyone ever like been like, yo, I have 10,000 streams on Spotify. Can I get on the playlist or whatever? Can I get on the record label? Or is
Um,
it usually not like that? I hope so. Not like that.
hasn't really been like that. Like the more people that like approached us, have been more just like people like that haven't even like released something yet. There's like, hey, we're just starting
Mm,
out. I have this album or this demo release. We're wondering if like you want to drop it on here.
mm,
And like the only times like I'd turn people down is like if it just doesn't fit. I mean, like most of the stuff people send to us is pretty good and I enjoy it, but it just doesn't fit, I guess, with the
but
record label.
so is there like a sort of like what's like what are you trying to cultivate as sort of as far as like genre or sound or whatever, trying to think of better words for that.
Like we try to keep it pretty open, but like we just don't work with genres like we just have no experience in like
Mm,
promoting and all that. Like a few pop punk bands came to me for like release on a record label, but I turned them away and suggested other record labels that are more beneficial to them because I just told them like I just have no experience in this field.
mm.
Pop punk, that's just I have no idea what goes on in pop punk. The only thing I know about
Me
pop
neither.
punk is Panda Studios.
Where is that? I don't even know what's that.
Oh, it's in Fremont. That's where all the pop punk bands record.
Oh, like
Hmm.
mom jeans back in the day or something like that.
Like Stories So Far and all those had.
Mm. Okay. Wow. Did not. Oh yeah, they're from around here. I didn't even know that. Wow. Very cool. Well, so then I guess if so your sort of genres are sort of like because I noticed your band is freaking dream pop. aka Another May,
Mm-hmm.
which I kind of want to ask you, where did that name come from?
So like back on the first when we were writing the first EP, it was just me, literally just me and Eduardo. And we were
Mm.
just thinking in my garage, like, hey, what should we name this? And so he was like, oh, let's name it Another June. I was like, we can do, how about we do Another May, just so it's like a double entendre, like another May, like another year, and another, like
Mm.
another may come. And then
Mm.
we made it one word, and we like got the idea from awake but still in bed.
Mm. There you go. That was the most concise answer and yet totally 100% accurate. That's amazing because I feel like most people are like, oh, somebody said something one time and then I heard it enough times. Like, all right, I don't have, like, you guys knew exactly what you're going for. That's awesome.
Speaking of which, I'm curious where the name Blue Indeed came from. So that's like
Hmm.
such like like just such a distinct name. Such
Yeah,
I'm just
I
curious where
mean,
it came from.
so they told me, and I'd have to ask them again to, or you can even ask them if you want, for the proper like answer. But as far as I remember, it was a sort of because there's a comma in the name, blue comma indeed, rather than like blue indeed,
Gotcha.
and so I think it was sort of something to do with like a what did have a sort of blues, like the genre of blues music had some sort of meaning to it. I don't recall the exact thing. It must have been some sort of conversation that they were
Mhm.
having, I think, and then like blue indeed. It was like they were like trying to describe maybe what their music sounded like, and then that
Mhm.
sounded fun to them. But what was funny is when they put out their most recent release on Spotify, because of the comma, it accidentally got put on a bunch of bands that were not blue. Like they got put on this all this like boy band from the UK, this '90s boy band's like Spotify page. And so
That's how you get streams, baby.
I mean, they true, true.
Next release, I'm just gonna be like Beyonce, bro.
Nobody's checking, dude. Nobody's making sure it's actually. Yeah, I thought that was. It was up there for like a month too. Like they didn't even.
No, that happened with kind of our most recent release, the song we did with Corduroy.
Mm,
So like the instead of going to actual Corduroy or the one we worked with Nima
mm.
and everything, it went to this random UK band with like from like I don't know, man, with like 10,000 monthly listeners, and
Oh
we're just
wow.
like right on their page, like, okay, this is cool, but correct.
Yeah, it just goes to show that like I think the automated system has some faults. I guess would be the best way of putting it. Because I'm assuming you guys are just using what is it, TuneCore or like the
I
sort of
use
like
DistroKid.
DistroKid. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I always forget the name of that one, but that seems to be the most popular distro.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, it's all very like no, not a lot of humans checking over things carefully. Just
Yeah.
you put it up for $20, they send it. You're on Spotify. Boom.
Like, man, you like lucky we even got it on the streaming service.
Totally. Um, but yeah, before I was gonna ask you, so you like Dream Pop, his your guys's, or is it more than just Dream Pop? I apologize if it's more
It's
than.
like indie pop, dream pop.
Okay, but then Conserve, what genre is that? Like,
Um, Probably just like alternative and like I don't know, like garage punk kind of. I don't know. They
mm,
kind of go all over the place with their music.
mm,
One day they have like a song that's like straight sounds like Black Sabbath. Another day they have a song where they're like rapping.
whoa,
It's just anarchy, bro.
fuck it, yeah, that's awesome. That's DIY experience, right?
Yeah, man.
Do it all. Um, what's so? I guess then, would you say that your genres are just sort of like whatever is the the friends of yours that are kind of like making that kind of music, right? Because right now, especially with the bubble, right, it's
Hmm.
just the 10 people or so that are part of
Yeah,
Paper
I mean,
House internal.
at least for now, the it's just like all my kind of like close friends and the close artists I work with. But
Mm.
like, so right now, I think we're working with Another May, working with Motels at Midnight, which is a synthwave group,
Whoa.
and then
Hell
we're
yeah.
working with Be Busy, which is a hip hop artist. So we're kind of all over the place right now.
Awesome. I'm super hyped with the synth wave. I didn't know anybody was doing that in the Bay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They
Like what do they sound like? Could you give me a band?
um I mean, I guess do you know like the Midnight?
I do not.
Okay,
Can
it's
check them
like the
out though.
same. It's like can I describe it as like it's like synthwave, synth pop. Half of this stuff's like synthwave, half of it's synth pop. They dropped
Okay.
an EP last year with us,
Hmm.
and now we're working on like a 7-song album.
Right. That's
Hmm.
exciting.
Yeah, hopefully we can get it out by the end of the year, but it's just a lot of opposite schedules right now.
Hmm. I see. Nice. Okay. Well, that's exciting. Hopefully that comes out soon. No pressure though. Take your time. Music, I think. Thing that
You just like sharpening a knife, like no pressure, no pressure. Man.
no pressure. Well, I was just gonna say like you take your time because something that I have been wanting to. I want to make some like YouTube videos for my channel that are not interviews, but more so just like common mistakes I feel like bands make, and one of those is the number one is not making actually good music or like the best music they could have made. I guess
Mhm.
people kind of rush it. I feel like half the time, and then
Yeah.
get into the other parts like merch. Like I feel like a lot of bands are not ready for merch, man. I don't know. Is
Mhm.
that too crazy to say?
Dude, and like I don't know, dude. Like I just feel like a lot of bands just don't even do merch. It's like first off, merch is cool as shit, dude. I want to buy like all bands merch,
Mm,
and then
totally. No, yeah.
but like dude, merch is cool.
My thing was sort of like if there are people genuinely requesting that you make merch, then you should make merch. If
Mhm.
you don't really have anybody wanting your merch, it seems like maybe there should be some time before because like doing a merch line makes sense for all bands. I think like there's no reason not to do it if
Mhm.
you're gonna be a long-term band, but at the same time I guess I just have this person in mind. I'm not gonna out them, but they have like one song out and then like they just push their merch line constantly and they're not like famous or anything. They have a few thousand listens, but it's like every day on their story, it's like buy my merch. It's like no, I don't want to buy your merch. Like
Yeah, I
it's a
mean,
little
it's
too
just
soon
like,
for that.
bro, I said no yesterday. I'm not saying yes today.
Yeah. Just take it like I feel like I don't know. It seems so kind of disingenuous to be like, I want to make money off of music and
Mhm.
not I want to make good music. And then,
Yeah.
you know,
I feel
people want
like
to help me.
with that, like a lot of bands, they're just like very pushy to the audience.
Mm,
I feel like you shouldn't be pushy at all. Like, give the information out there, but don't like constantly remind them and heckle them.
yeah.
Like, I like when shows were still going on, there'll be people that hit me up and they like message me like every day, almost every day, like send me the show poster. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, I saw it 2 days ago, and I see it now. Thanks, Chief.
Yeah, there definitely is, I think, a fine line between promotion and begging and desperation. I'll be honest, I think earlier on in my career, so to speak, I would like individually send people posters. And then at a certain point, I was
Oh,
like,
I used to do that too. Like, I feel like everyone at one point shamelessly do that. It's like everyone
yeah,
had a scene phase. Everyone had a phase where they just DM people posters, and like people like you don't even talk to or haven't
exactly.
talked to in
Exactly. It's
years.
like, we haven't talked in 6 months. Come to my show, please. But yeah, I feel like at this point, it's like you really just want to make sure you're not annoying people. I think that's
Mhm.
step one. Like, make sure people are interested. Like you can post on your story. I think story posts are perfect places to post posters or actual posts. But
Yeah.
the DMs, the every day there's 6 posts about this one event. It's like if they're if they weren't coming from the first post, Probably
Like they're
not
not
coming on
coming
the
for
fifth
like the
post.
seventh post, man.
Just looks a little too desperate. Uh, I guess just moving on, then I kind of like this topic of like, is there, as someone who's been doing this for a few years, is again kind of on this sort of like, what are people doing wrong, or like what kind of common mistakes are you seeing within the scene that you think people could easily fix or potentially fix, or is it just everyone's kind of on their own journey? What do you have any takes on that sort of thing? Because I imagine you get lots of emails, or at least
Hmm.
have received a decent amount of
I mean, like in regards to like shows and everything, or just in general.
shows, literally anything. I don't have any super specific, but if you need me to get specific, I
I
can help
mean,
out.
like I feel like the main one is just a lot of bands are just too pushy to get people to go to shows.
Mm.
And then, sorry, I have to think about this first.
No worries. I think maybe lineups are something that people often kind of
Oh,
do poorly.
I've been guilty of this, but definitely keep the lineup like kind of like this around the same genre as possible. Because I've done shows where it'll just be like country bands and metal bands, and everyone's just like, man, what the fuck is going on? I,
Sometimes it can be really fun, but yeah, no, I totally agree.
like
I have
every bunch of
also.
shows where it's like very successful. There's also a lot of shows where people are just like, man, what the fuck? Like there'll be 50 people for one band, and as soon as like a band, like for a metal band, and like when like the country band starts playing, everyone just dips.
Yeah, that's the struggle, right? Unless you have the band that everyone's secretly there for at go last, and then you can sort of
Mhm.
force them to watch. Because I did that once as well. I think it was Mint was last. Or no, this is actually a separate. 7-Eleven Jesus played with, or no, not even 7. Oh my god, I'm totally, my brain hurts. But like
It's
basically it
been
was
a long
like,
time. It's been a long time
yeah,
since
it's been
shows.
like 7 8. Oh my god, it's been way too long. I can't even remember the full lineup, but basically it was like slowcore was one of the genres. Then you have psychedelic rock as the openers. And then there's this crazy band that I don't know if they're still even like really doing anything, but they played the show, and they were doing a mix of metal and like reggae music, and so it was like reggae metal.
What? Okay, I gotta
It was
hear
pretty
that.
sick.
I gotta hear that.
I
That
don't know
sounds
if they
very
have anything out there though.
damn.
I'll try to find it after the interview. I can't remember the name of the band. And then there might have been like one other genre, but like it was just like a lot of people showed up because it was like everyone was homies for each individual band, but then like the whole experience, I just remember being like, this is a little weird. This is are getting, but at the same time, I think that's the sort of beauty of the DIY thing, is like you're gonna be going a bunch of different stuff. It's not,
Mhm.
even if sometimes it sucks, it's like at least better than, or it's like cheap, and you get to see
It's still
something.
entertaining.
Yeah, it's raw, it's interesting.
It's a party, man. Everyone's just having a good time. There's no
Yeah.
overpriced beer,
Mm,
and it's just all a good experience. And like I don't know, like venues, man, they just got really expensive beers.
true. Fucking the Fox Theater or whatever. I don't know if you've ever been there in Oakland.
No. Oh yeah, I
Um,
have. I just never bought beer there. I'm
yeah,
guessing
don't
like
buy
10
beer.
bucks.
Yeah, I think it was like 10 or 12 bucks
And
for
then like
like,
those like little plastic
yeah,
cups.
the little plastic 12 ounce or whatever, I don't know, fluid ounces. Yeah, fuck that shit. It's all about going to the, well, for me, it's like the Honey Hive, right? It's technically no alcohol, but people just sneak in shooters and from 7-Eleven, or they drink outside, like, or you drink in like the side room or whatever. Um, and I guess I'm assuming Honey Hive knows this. This isn't like a big revelation, right?
Yeah.
Like I know it's a no drugs, no alcohol venue, but like people I've seen too many times bring in their own secret little stash or whatever.
I've
They're
seen
not.
some very intoxicated people at my time.
It's a good time. Anywho, Honey Hive, great place. Anyways, we can talk about them all day, but I forget exactly where we were. I think sort of just topically on what what are some pros and some cons, or some tips and some tricks and some mistakes one can make when starting up their band. Do you think it is smart to like send your demos to a label before like putting them out on Bandcamp, or do you guys prefer it when like you can sort of see how people react to someone's music already and they already have a little following going or something?
Um, Typically with like record labels, they kind of like look for people that already kind of have a following, but
Mm,
at the same time, record labels like tend to send record labels like demos. So if like they want to
mm,
like support you, like they can fund the album, like the
mm,
recording. But it's just like, yeah, like record labels, they more go after people that like are gaining like a huge traction on their own.
that seems like the modern thing, right? Because there's
Hmm.
so many artists now and so little money that like there really isn't.
Yeah,
You have to do it yourself.
no more middle class in the music industry.
Mm,
Either you're doing really well or you're struggling.
yeah, totally. And now that like Spotify, has replaced CDs, nobody makes money off of like sales like that. So all your
Mhm.
money's coming from concerts and from live shows, which are now essentially gone for 99% of us. So
There's still merch though,
yeah, there's still merch.
and people are still buying cassettes and vinyl.
Mm. Are you guys interested? Like, do you put out any physical releases?
Um, we have in the past, but we just haven't in a while, especially for these more recent releases, because there's no point because they're just gonna be sitting in my room all day because there's no shows or anything.
Mm,
Because I was like literally the only time we'd sell CDs is at shows. But
I feel you.
we've done cassettes for Sadgasm in the past. I'm probably gonna do cassettes again. And if we get if one of our bands gets like much bigger traction, we'll probably do vinyls. Because you have to do those in like orders of 100, I think,
Mm,
or orders of
yeah.
50.
Imagine if we lived in a world where you could get drop shipping physical releases. Like you don't have to even pay up front. You can just when you sell one, it's created for you. Because that's how t-shirts can work these days. If I'm not sure if you're aware, but like
Yeah.
yeah, you don't even need to buy all the t-shirts at once anymore. You can just have them be created as you sell them, and it's sick. I think anybody, if like, even though I was roasting earlier, and I'm gonna make a video about this hopefully soon, um, for all my 10 fans or whatever. The merch thing, I think there's lots of opportunity now because of drop shipping, so you can do a lot
Hmm.
of it for super cheap. You don't even have to pay for a website. You can have someone else.
There's like Redbubble too.
Yeah.
Well, you can literally put like your logo or any like design on anything, and then like
Mm.
you can just order it.
Yes, Teespring, Tmall. There's all these companies now that are creating like their own drop shipping options where you just put up your own logo. And now you have a like a little micro website that people can buy it on and
Hmm.
ship it to, and you don't have to buy the t-shirts yourself because that could be expensive. And there's no live shows now, so. But imagine CDs, dude, or something like that, like vinyl. Like you could not have to buy 100. You could have like your single vinyl test release.
Yeah, what a world, bro.
uh,
It's impossible to imagine at this
I
point.
mean, isn't vinyl a bigger market than? I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they.
I keep seeing like articles that vinyl is surpassing sales than CDs. And I told one of my teachers, and he's kind of like an old head. And I told him that he's like, no, that's not true. Like, look at the articles, man.
Are you taking classes for like music industry stuff or?
I went to school for audio engineering. I
Oh,
graduated
okay.
this spring.
Nice. That's congratulations. What program or what school?
It's at Cogswell and Milpitas. It's a bachelor's of science in digital audio technology is what it's called. Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you.
Has
Now,
it been serving
gotta,
you well?
I just gotta find the work.
Yeah, that is the next step, right? Hopefully that can come soon. And I wish you best of luck. If maybe we can promote you through this a little bit or something. If they get your personality, they get your, because I feel like that's a big deal too, right? Is like the music industry, like sure um it's about your work, but people also like have such a social aspect to it that like they have to like you. Like I feel like
Yeah.
unless
Like
you're Justin
definitely
Bieber.
yeah, definitely personality, because I worked one time I entered at the studio and they told me like, yeah, like we don't have the best recording equipment, we don't have the best space, but and like a lot of people prefer to go to us just because like we're really easy to work with and very understanding. Like I hear a lot of horror stories about going to like some like really big studios. I'm not going to say their names,
Mm-hmm.
but they're just like the engineers either like really strict or it's like, oh, like it has to be this way, it has to be this way, and just like they just forget that like it's not their project, it's the band's project.
Mm.
And it's
Their
just like a
standards.
lot of producers and engineers are just like super strict and just have to do it their way.
Yeah. Uh,
It's like,
That's where I think you have to be really careful about who you pick because you're the one paying for the studio time. And then if you don't even like the people running it, it's like, or they don't like you or whatever that is, then it's like, because I
mhm.
remember a friend of mine's band in San Francisco, they like basically had to record their album twice with two different places because the first person really fucked up the mix or something, or like, I
Oh,
don't know
really?
exactly. What's that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What band was that?
That was Mint, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Hopefully they're doing okay. I think they might. Spoilers for everyone, but COVID might have taken that band out.
Oh, how
Um,
come? What happened? If you
well,
don't mind me asking.
their bassist is, or I'm trying to remember what instrument he played, but someone basically that was playing one of their instruments left, and then and so they moved out, and then um, since they're missing a person, I think part of that was the thing, and then just creative energy is kind of lost. Like everyone's like working multiple jobs. I mean, I won't say that they're gone forever. I'm not their manager or anything. I'm just, this is just like, since we're on the topic, yeah, they're, hopefully they can put something up. But I know Hayden, one of the vocalists and guitarists, is doing his own personal project that's coming out very soon. Maybe
Okay.
I'll do an interview with him. But yeah, they're unfortunately just, I think for a lot of bands, I mean, I've noticed, I don't know if are you familiar with the Cause? Ever heard of that band?
That sounds really
They're
familiar.
friends with Kilroy, I think. Um, they're from the Pleasantville, Pleasant Hill, California,
Pleasanton?
or even farther north. There's a place called Pleasant Hill. It's
Oh,
where
okay.
DVC is at, and
No, I'm not really familiar with
it's all good. You don't. It's just another town full of white people. But
that.
I mean, yeah. Uh, they're also gone down. I think COVID probably played a role. I think it's just so hard if you're, not an established act, and you don't have the creative juices that you normally would
Hmm.
because of you playing live shows and stuff like that. Staying afloat in COVID has definitely taken a toll. I think on a lot of bands. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've seen that at all, but
Oh yeah, for sure. And then just like a lot of like mental health going on too. Like
mm,
people are just drained because like I don't know, there's like no creative energy going on because they're like stuck inside all day or they're just like falling into a depression.
really, how do we get past this though? How do we survive, Brett? What are you
We
guys
got-
doing at Paperhouse Records to stay moving, stay grooving?
oh man, we just
Your
got
yerba
we just gotta
mate.
get Trump out of office, man.
Yeah, let's check the stats right now. Is he still?
I don't know, dude. Nevada's quiet, man.
Yep, nothing's happened. God damn it.
Darn.
Anyways, we're still live on KQED or whatever. Uh, but yeah, like have you guys been like just sort of like this is how we're like the music is what makes you happy, and so that's what's like allowing you to like it's not like it's a draining effect, it's like the opposite. You go to music to stay positive, to stay happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And then like I don't know, like sorry, I blanked out for a
No,
sec.
you're good. Take
But
your time.
like when I like write music, I just like don't really think about me. I just kind of think about like the people who will listen to it and like kind of like speak to them and like help them out. Especially if like Another May and all those releases, those are definitely about like self
Mm,
help and a lot of that with a lot of the songs.
yeah, I'm sure, right. I also just blanked, but this
It's all
is
good.
are you I kind of want to talk about this. This might be a little controversial. Are you familiar with noise pop?
That's wait, is if I'm correct, Noise Pop is that like festival event coordinator, right?
They like I wouldn't call them a festival. I think they sort of do a festival, but they're like this either booking agent or like some sort of like company, music based company that basically puts on shows throughout the Bay Area.
Yeah,
Um,
I went to one of the shows to see Black Midi last year.
mm, I've never listened to them, but everyone likes them. It seems like I've heard that name so many
It was
times.
like Matt Slade, the camera guy at Paper House, he kind of like as soon as we finished the live session, he like we went up to it and like I've never heard a single song by them before, but he's like, bro, you gotta listen to this. And man,
Hell yeah.
like we're waiting like I wouldn't know the venue, but it was just like all like Dutch design. Like I don't even know how to explain it. But like we're just like waiting at the stage and the stage is like a foot tall. It's like right off the
Is this
ground.
an SF or
Yeah, I was in SF. I can't even.
I'm assuming a bar kind of place
No,
or
there's like this like center. But
oh.
like we're waiting for the band to like come on. They're like about to come on, and then I look around and we just see the band, and they're like running back and forth between the walls, they're like jumping off the walls. They just like run on stage and like perform like one of the most intense sets I've ever seen.
And now I need to freaking finally check these fools out. I've been sleeping on them. Black Midi. You heard it here first. But yeah, to get back to noise pop, they're yeah, they just I guess they just do bookings and stuff. But I've heard, and I don't know if you get this sort of feeling generally that I guess I don't need to throw them under the bus specifically, but more so just like why do you think it is that um, companies like noise pop and like I don't know, Do the Bay or, like these sort of events companies that they're like very for profit within the Bay Area. Um, it seems like they like to like end like they care about the local scene or they care about the DIY scene. They'll throw a bone once every year or so and like have like a smaller band get to play a bigger show. But like from what I've heard, right, it's like the bands do not get anywhere near the same compensation. And then they have to like sign agreements that saying like, oh, you can't play another show within the month of this
Yeah,
show.
like I hate a lot of those venues where it's like, oh, like you can't play another show within a month, which is like, okay, that's kind of dickish. That's kind of shitty.
Yeah,
But
no,
like
it's
like they just do that just so like the maximum amount of people can come to that show. It all just comes
mhm.
around to making money.
Yeah, the for-profit music.
Mhm. And then all those other people like I don't know if you know like Grow the Scene.
I've not heard of that. What is?
They do a bunch of shows at like DNA Lounge, Catalyst Atrium, and all that. But
Oh, yeah, I
they're
forgot
like
about that stuff.
they're from like New York or something, and like
Mm.
it's obviously they just care about ticket sales. They don't really care about the band.
Superior Booking. I'm calling out Superior Booking. They do the same. Are you familiar with
Oh,
Superior?
I've heard about them. I've heard about them.
These thing with Superior Booking, what they would do is they would book 32 bands in a day and they all have to sell their own tickets. Like they have to sell tickets themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're given physical tickets to sell and stuff like that. And then every band gets 2 songs.
2 songs?
Yeah.
What
And
the
then
fuck?
except for like certain bands that get to play the main stage, or I think get to play 4 songs. But it's like these ridiculous shows where it's 32 bands you've never heard of, essentially. Or like your friend is one of the 32 bands that like they're not very big or whatever, so they're playing. And
Mm-hmm.
DNA now Lounge was like the place where they would do it, where they have like 2 stages at the same
Yeah.
time going, and it just seemed so weird and sus and like, hey, I don't know. I do not support that kind of thing. I think you shouldn't do. People should be wary of too good to be true, like
Mm-hmm.
offerings like that are more so kind of exploiting the artists rather than actually giving them
Yeah, because
opportunity.
like when I like did with my old band when we did shows, we fell for those things and we did some shows of like grow the scene and stuff. And so like we sold
Mm.
tickets. Thing is like if you didn't sell that great tickets, you either play like very first or you play at like midnight when like no one's there.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
And it's just like
that
a 12 band lineup. It's just
exactly. It's messed up. I don't know why it's tolerated. There should be some sort of like, this is predatory, shit. Like this is some whack. Like just have 4 bands. Like stop, stop with
Mhm.
the.
Yeah, and like when my friends would like hit me up about it, I'm just be like, yeah, don't do that. Like I would just like warn them right away and
Yeah.
tell them it's just not a good experience.
I wonder if I'll get sued for saying this stuff though. Is this like even? Are they gonna come after us, dude? Are they gonna
Nah,
come
dude,
at?
we got parody law under us.
Hell yeah, dude.
That makes fun.
DMCA, stop yourself. But yeah, fuck that bullshit. I don't know why I haven't brought up that kind of stuff before, because like I've done like 15 episodes and we've not talked about it. But there's a lot of kind of sus stuff like that, I feel like, in this scene. Just
Just
people.
people taking advantage of other people.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
that's
that's a thing in San Jose too. Then I see.
mhm.
Hmm. Oh, you're gonna say something, or?
I mean, I don't know. It's like controversial, but just like it's like a lot of people take advantage of other people, like in regards to like sexual assault in the music scene, which I think it happens way too often. Like I don't know if
Yeah.
you hear about like all the cases, but I just hear
Burger
it.
House Records and all that, or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Or,
Burger Records and
or
all
Burger
that.
Records. Yeah, no, I haven't. I don't think we've talked about it properly on the show, but incredibly gross, incredibly stupid, and just
Mhm.
unfortunate, because it's like the people that like keep the scene alive are being taken advantage of by these gross men.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't know if you saw the Buttertones thing, but that was so brutal. It was just
Wait, what?
the
What's that?
the. Are you familiar? Have you never heard of the band, the Buttertones?
That kind of sounds familiar. What happened?
Well, they're like a band from, I think, SoCal, but they um basically got called out for multiple band members being extremely predatory and doing whack shit. One of them
Mhm.
with Cherry Glazer, I think, one was like dating Cherry Glazer when she was underage, or they were underage.
Oh
I don't remember.
really?
Yeah, I think, I don't remember his name, but he's like the bassist or something. But like basically the Buttertones, their like response to this was like a month and a half later being like, sorry, we're not sorry. Like so they kicked out the 2 people that were like notoriously the worst of the band or whatever. But
Hmm.
they come back a month later with this video on their Instagram that's just like, sorry, not sorry. Shame on you guys for hurting our feelings. We're just trying to make music. But it's like, bruh, you guys are you guys are the assholes, and you're trying to get
Yeah, it's
sympathy
ridiculous.
right now. What the fuck?
And like which one of Billy Joe Armstrong's son's bands got
Oh
which
yeah.
one was it? It's was
I don't
it
remember the person, but I think Swimmers. Was it Swimmers that got?
was it Swimmers or was it like I don't know. Like I'm
I
not
think
gonna
it was
say 'cause
Swimmers.
okay. But I remember like one band, I think I know the name, but I'm not gonna say it just in case it isn't. But they were like,
Mhm.
because they were like really close relation with that band. So like they kind of like made a statement basically saying like, because everyone's like asking him like, did you guys know about this? Because you guys are like best friends with these guys.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we knew about it, but like we just knew it was a great advancement in our careers, so we just chose to ignore it. And like, okay, you just got fucking canceled.
So brutal. Yeah,
Dude, the heartbreaking
God.
one was probably when I found out about Kuko.
Mm.
And like I was just like, man, I just like went to his concert like 6 months before.
He still has lots of fans, I feel like.
I
Like, did he
know, like
ever
the
probably
thing is like
address
for a
it?
while, like another May, one of our inspirations was Kuko. And like I was like one of
Mm.
our favorite bands, but now we're just like can't even listen to him anymore because of like the actions he does.
Yeah, no. Totally understand that. Um, the only ever time I ever saw Kuko was he played a Berkeley, like UC Berkeley show in the park for like Cal Day or something like that, and
Mhm.
it was a free with. He played with have you heard of No Vacation?
Oh, dude, okay. No Vacation, that's Eduardo's like one of Eduardo's favorite bands.
Hell yeah,
And like
they're all
that's
right.
also um one that's like also one of our inspirations for another May.
Nice.
Eduardo pretty much stole a guitar riff from another May and put it from No Vacation, put in another May song.
Oh, you heard it here first. All music is derivative. It is. I mean, it's kind of, but no, that's okay. Nothing. No shame, right? No shame. Music is music. Make it as good as you can, I guess. If it sounds
It's one
good.
of our old songs, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Like
It's no one will remember. I mean, maybe they'll remember. Who knows? But that's from time to tell, I guess. Brett, are we? I'm trying to think. We might be like over an hour long. Let me check the
yeah.
time. Dang, this has been time has just flown by on this conversation. Um, maybe we should, restructure, recap it.
Do
It
a
was a
part
pleasure
two.
to chat, though. What is Paper House doing going forward? What can we expect from y'all coming forward? And
Okay. So at the moment, we're working on another May. We're working on a music video for Parlos Hombres. We're gonna start working on music for Los Pingüinos. And then we have a music video for Marigolds, but we can't do it because of COVID. And
hmm,
like it requires too many people in a room at once. On top of that, Motels at Midnight, we're working on the album right now. We're probably gonna do like one or two music videos for that.
oh,
And then Be Busy, the hip hop artist, we're working on a music video for one of his songs right now as well.
dang, the music videos.
I know.
Excited. Who
And
is that? All you guys doing it yourselves with like your own equipment, or do you have like a?
yeah, pretty much. Like I have a video camera and then like Eduardo and Brad also have a video camera and we just do ourselves because we did that for the You Can Tell Me music video with Corduroy. We just shot that
Hmm.
all ourselves. But we also will get help from Matt Dresden, which is one of the video guys for the live sessions as well.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see those because I feel like people have not been doing music videos. Y'all
Mhm.
seem to be keeping it productive. That's great to hear. Well, I'm happy to chat with you, Brett. I'm glad we got to have this talk. I didn't mean to end it abruptly, but at the
It's all
same
good. It's all
time,
good.
of
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
course, appreciate it. And we will see you and your awesome stuff in the future. Thank you so much for coming on. Good luck with COVID. Hopefully, the election results come soon, and I'll post this probably in a week or so.
Okay.
Yeah, but here I'll stop recording. Thank you so much again. You can stop your recording on your audio. Yeah, of course.